Okay, in this video, what I want to do is I want to go over compression for vocals. A lot of times we don't understand how to get our vocals to perfectly sit in a mix or to sit in a song for it to sound not only full but loud enough but not too loud. We have to be able to master the compression. So I'm going to give you guys some simple tips. Let's get it popping. What are we doing? Boom, boom, boom. Let me get this out the way. My fault. All right, cool. Got my Pro Tools up. Let me make sure my screen is big. All right, cool. So the first thing first is that if we don't have something like an Apollo, right, it starts from the top of your chain, right? A vocal chain, we have to be able to understand what a vocal chain is, right? So we have a bunch of effect processors that we run our vocals through that our voice starts as an analog signal. And as we go through the mic and it goes through our compressors and EQs or preamp, those are effect processors. We can use those things to balance the sound, add color, add depth, add warmth. So usually in big studios, what we do is we start with effects processors. Like I have, 610 right there, have an EQ right here, boom, right there, and I have a compressor, right? So this video was about compression, right? So I have the LA2A on here. So I'm starting my vocals with something like an LA2A. And if you guys don't have one of these, on my recording template, I've set up a bus track. So if I only had something like a Focusrite or an audio interface without DSP technology, I still have the same effects processors, right? Hold on, let me do this. So we would still have the same effects, right? Got a Shep 73, and I could do the same thing on there. So don't worry about, and this is what I love about Pro Tools, because you have other DAWs like Studio One. This is a little bit harder to do on those, especially like BandLabs. It's hard to set up a print track to be able to print those effects. That's the difference between getting an ultra high quality sound, right? So first thing first is that we want to put EQ on, before we start recording. And the reason we want to do that is because we want to balance the vocals, right? I'll play something that I'm always working on music every day. So listen to this.
Little fan, you. Little fan, you. Stopping me, making me choose. Want you back, no I can't lose. In this moment I want you bad, bad. I'ma blow it all, ain't nothing you can't have.
No, there's no mixing on that yet. That sounds mixed. And this is how I'm able to record a lot of songs. So, we need to address the front end. Let's get into the recording a little bit. We're on my recording channel.
Yeah. This sounds like something else. Oh.
This is our recording channel. And as we start to make adjustments to this. Now, I usually like a LA2A on the front end, right? Before I start recording, right? Here. And then we have our gain, we have our peak reduction. Our peak reduction reduces the amount of signal that we're getting inside of the DAW. I usually like that on 30, between 30 and 40, right? And then I like the gain. We just want it to kind of flash a little bit and yeah, into that yellow just a little bit. And that'll let us know that we have the perfect vocal, right? We don't want to overdo the compression going into that, because on a template, and then also you always want to record on a good template. Whether you get it from me, you set up your own, or you do whatever, right? You always need a good template. One of the best compressors that I love on my chain is this MC DSP. This is an old school compressor, but I love it. It is one of the smoothest compressors that I've ever heard before. I have it set pretty heavy on the threshold, but I can do that is because this compressor is so smooth. And what I have to say is not all compressors are created equal, because I could easily swap that out with a LA2A from Waves, but it just doesn't sound like that 4030. So that 4030 is kind of like the secret sauce to what I have going on. So with the compressor being on the front end, and another compressor being on the chain, we created that parallel compression, right? So I'm going a little bit heavier on here. We're at about almost a 500 release. You know, we're pretty slow on the attack. The ratio is about 4:1, and I'm pretty heavy on the threshold. And I have my makeup gain. But that MCDSP, look, I think they have a 14-day free trial. You guys have to try this out, right?
Little fan, you.
So when we get to the recording part, right, and we say,
Little fan, you. Little fan, you.
smooth.
Little fan, you. Stopping me, making me choose.
That way we can already get that sound. But if we address it and we over compress, right?
Little fan, you.
So we want to be able to find balance. So whenever we record and then we put our compression post, what we can do is
Stopping me, making me choose. Want you back, no I can't lose. In this moment I want you bad, bad.
because usually what I like to do with my compressor is get it to a point where it's smooth enough for me to just make volume decisions. If I can get my recordings to a point where I can just make a volume decision, I know I can breeze through the mix. Because a lot of times as artists, as songwriters, as music creators, we like to overthink. We need to send this off to mixing. We need to be able to get it, even if we're not expert engineers, we want our mixing to be to a point where we can just make volume simple. This is just a volume decision to me. I could just go here and say,
Little fan, you. Little fan, you. Stopping me, little fan. Little fan, you. Little fan, you. Stopping me, making me choose. Want you back, no I can't lose. In this moment I want you bad, bad. I'ma blow it all, ain't nothing you can't have.
and don't be afraid to use multiple compressors. What I usually like is, I like the smoothness of a compressor. You have other compressors, waves, the LA2A is really, really good, but I like it on the front end. Because sometimes if you're going front end, they could really dictate what sound. For example, right? We have this LA2A, but it's the gray. It's a little bit warm, more of a vintage sound. Here is the LA2A silver. It has a brighter sound. You see the difference? Look at that. Here we go. Here's just flat. Boom, 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 boom. This is a little bit of warmer sound. So it just depends on the frequency of your voice. I'm like a baritone, so I need more of a little bit of a darker sound, not so much bright. I'll add the brightness on the back end, but my compressor on the front end has to be a little bit darker. This is why I like the gray. But if you have a heavier voice and you're trying to cut through, you need the LA2A silver, right? But it all works the same, right? We can just add the peak reduction. And what I would usually like to do is I would start heavy and I would dial back until it gets to the smoothness that I like. Yeah. This one I would go a little bit heavier on. Yeah. Reduce the gain. This would be my sweet spot right there. Okay? Good. And then also, we want to be able to control we want to be able to look at the songs and control the dynamics. We know that we're compressing right when we can look at our waves, and all of our waves are uniform, right? Look at this. All of these waves are uniform. There's nothing too loud, and this is like not having like emulations like DSPs, but again, if you don't have, something like an Apollo or a Discrete 4 or something with those front-end emulations, you need a template that has like a print track. And if you guys need one, I do have a template called the Fedarro template, link in the description, right? So we go through the song, everything should be equal.
Baby, come to this side. And let me show you what it's like. Drip, shit, bout to get wavy, real wavy, yeah. Let a real one change your life. Ooh, oh. We matching buzz down, shining like AP. Pull up skirt, hop out of the foreign with a foreign. Can tell me nothing. Eat, shot, party, sleep. We can catch a red eye, leave it's nothing. Not in too deep. Put the cuffs on you, end of discussion. Once I got you, you can get away. I'm just saying, little fine.
Those are genius vocals. And guys, also, if you guys want to learn how to record, mix and master yourself, make money in music, learn how to network, I've set up an academy, right, called the Songmaker Rebellion, right? You get all of my courses, all of my trainings, all of my templates in that one academy. So we're talking about over $15,000 worth of training courses, and I add on to it. I add new courses, add new modules almost every day, like every other day. So we're always filling it out so you can learn about EQ, about compression, about mixing, about mastering, all of these things. Link in the description below. All right?
Baby, come to this side. And let me show you what it's like.
So what compressors do you guys love to do? Like, what compressors do you guys love to use? I would love to understand, because as we go through the recording process, what I like to do is I've been using the 4030 and the LA2A forever, right? I've experimented with a lot of things, but like I said, all compressors are not created equal. Find the one that fits your voice in conjunction with the EQs that you like, with the preamps you like, and always use that system. I know that there's new plugins coming to the market every day. There's new equipment every day, but you have to understand how to learn how to use your tools, right? And if you guys need help, just get into the academy. You know, we get on a call every Wednesday, and I can help you with your recording. So it's Fedarro. Put what compressors you like in the comment section.